Right now, you are being encouraged to allow new or different aspects of yourself to shine through in general, so across the board. Let's see what you need to know here. Okay, there is something that you have been through before that is maybe unsuspecting to the eye, and I want to see what fell on the floor really quick. Okay, so it was 5 of Cups. It fell face down. This lets me know that it's something that you don't talk about, you don't whine about, you don't complain about. This is one of those situations where, was it fun? No. Was it easy? No. It's probably seemingly irrelevant to your life right now, but the reason why it's coming up is because this is something that created a lot of change in you, or it's a big change you were able to make, or it's something big you were able to heal from. This is also something that you either could feel sorry for yourself and nothing would change, or you needed to do the hard work and change. So this is a situation in your life where you didn't really have a choice, or maybe empathy, or maybe compassion around you. It was probably well, you have a problem, so that's you having a problem. And you had to be like, yes, that's right, I guess. Thank you for the gentleness and honesty. And then you have to go in and do something. This is something where you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, yeah, that's BS. Yeah, that's not coming with. And you cut it out and you move forward. Okay, so it might be your pattern of doing this. It might be your ability to do this, or there might be a specific situation or energy that you have kind of grown through like this. Now, this is in the past for sure, but there's also this idea where you are being called to let a part of yourself that hasn't really seen the world in a long time shine through and see the light of day. This is a part of you that coexisted with whatever this unhealthy energy was that you needed to get rid of. However, just because they coexist doesn't make that first energy unhealthy. So, say you used to have a bad habit in your life. Maybe it's an energy you healed from, maybe it's a pattern from your ancestors, maybe it's a bad habit, whatever it is, and maybe it used to coexist when you used to wear pink all the time, just as an example. Okay, I love pink. So because when you cut this energy out, that was the version of you that wears pink, and that wearing pink isn't bad, pink's not bad, okay, but this energy was. So now the version of you that wears pink wants to shine through again, but it's going to shine through without that attachment to it. So, analogy, of course, insert that how it's relevant to you. But why? Why this? Why now? Because it does seem a little bit irrelevant, right? Because we have 1, 5, 5, 5. Huge changes of the self. This is alchemy. There's kind of the vibe where you walk the walk and you don't even talk about it. And there are people all over the place who talk the talk, but they don't actually do what they're saying they're doing. You're doing far much more than you're saying you're doing. You've done so much more than you said that you've done. There's kind of this energy of learned humbleness, or humbleness even as a coping mechanism, where if you make yourself feel small, at least you know you're not being grandiose. Because it's better to be small and humble than it is to be grandiose and arrogant. However, two sides of the same coin, playing devil's advocate here, that center, that healthy center, it's confidence. And the way that these are really shining through, though, I keep saying shining through, it always reminds me of upward facing dog, or when you're shine through in your sun salutations or whatever. We do have 5, 5, 5, so this is the throat chakra. So the way that this is shining through is that you are being encouraged to speak on what it is that you've been through, what it is that you've healed through, what it is that you've learned, your process, your journey, whatever it is that this energy was. You're being called to shine through this new version of you, express it, and also in some way express separately what it was that you were attached to, or what it was that was a pattern or a habit or going on for you. Now, this might be a touchy subject for some of you, but it's also presenting as far enough removed where you expect it to be touchier than it actually is or was. Or you expect it to be touchier now, or just in general, but it's less touchy than you expect because it's been a while. So let's see why. Why is this coming up in general, and why is it coming up now? Okay, because you needed to learn something the hard way, and you can prevent others from needing to go through some of the difficulty that you had to go through this. Also, the High Priestess here fell out sideways, so this is both the challenge, the obstacle, and it's also the opportunity here. And it's crossing the Five of Cups card. Five of Cups can be crying over spilt milk, it's whining, it's complaining, it's victim mindset. It's not only bad things too. Five of Cups can be also when it's like the pile of little things. And so that one thing, I don't know, bumping your toe on your coffee table, it might not be that big of a deal, but in some circumstances when there's this and there's that and there's this other thing, and then you bump your toe on the coffee table, and then it's like, it's that little tiny thing that sets you off. So, to reverse that energy, you're being called into this energy right now because you can take some of those tinier things off of someone else's plate. Maybe it's someone in your life, maybe it's a whole community, maybe it's an energy in general. Some of you, this is talking about energy work or grid work or something like this. Others of you, it's talking about building a community or sharing your story so that it helps other people feel maybe empathized with where no one else is empathizing with them. And that makes someone else feel understood when no one else is understanding them. It might make someone else feel less alone, which is honestly just a gift to be able to provide in this world. And also, there's this energy of something that isn't said a lot, because whatever this energy is, it might be something where, oh, you were attached to that, ew. There's something here that's a taboo. Now, not to you, maybe not to people who deal with whatever this is or have dealt with whatever this is, maybe not to everybody, but there's something where I'm hearing the first rule of Fight Club. We don't talk about Fight Club. The first rule of blank. We don't talk about it. So, you might actually have several things in your life that are like this. By going there, you will be surprised to see how community flocks to you, not only to support you, but to help you provide support to others. Because that's where you are at this point in your journey. This might not be comfortable for you. You might not want to rip the Band-Aid off and just, put it out there. But this is also something where you have the ability to help. And so, in a small way, if you so choose to accept it, you can have the responsibility of helping, whereas everyone doesn't. Okay? I'm hearing it takes one to know one, and this is why. We have another card that fell on the floor here, Page of Pentacles, because this is going to help you take the next step forward, but it's also something where Page of Pentacles can indicate like a mature child. Okay? The pages are kind of like the children of the different elements, and sometimes we'll see Page of Cups or Page of Wands or Page of Swords, and it's kind of more of an immature energy. Page of Pentacles is a very mature child. It can be a parentified child. It can be a child who needed to grow up really fast. It can be something bad that happened to you as a child. It can also be a burden that you've been carrying for a long time. It can also be a version of you that maybe was the last part of you to mature and evolve and grow too. It might be that one area of life where you're a late bloomer. It might also be that one area of life where maybe you dealt with something, you learned something a lot sooner than everybody else. And so because of that, it caused you to need to mature there early. Now, time has passed. You're used to something. Something is not difficult for you as it would be if it was just happening to you, or you were stepping into it, or you were realizing it for the first time in your life. It's something that is, for lack of a better term, old news for you. But it might not be fully comfortable for you to present this, so you're being called Page of Pentacles again to take baby steps. Nine of Cups, Nine of Wands. Be the adult, or be the person that you didn't have. You're being called in some way to be the person that you didn't have when you needed it. Whether that be an adult to a child, whether that be a friend to a friend, whether that be compassion to someone that's hurting, or whether that just be support dealing with a difficult habit or cycle. And again, Nine of Wands with the Judgment, you might feel a little bit guarded about this. You might think people are going to judge you, but the Hierophant, deep down the Hierophant with the High Priestess, in some way you belong in this niche, in this category, in this world. It's just that you are still growing into the version of you that does. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5.